Warning. The following video contains some gruesome deaths. It's a bit of suicide. And there's some horrible deaths. I mean, some of them are horrible, some of them are just a bit funny, to be honest with you. I don't know if that was the intention from the director, but yeah, I'm warning you, forewarning you, there's some of that stuff in there. And spoilers, no, there's spoilers, because, some of them are sort of like jump scare type things, and obviously I'll be ruining that for you if you ain't seen the film. No lewd themes, I'm afraid, no. Oh, hey up, Rayvers. Yeah, just converted my loft into a dark room so I can develop some photos that me and Denise have been taking. Anyway, it's Halloween, isn't it? Halloween! So it's time for another spooky film. And I asked the Nickel Ratrons over on my Patreon page for their spooky film suggestions. And we've ended up going with The Omen. The Omen. Yes, The Omen, The Omen. Never seen The Omen. I'd heard lots about it. I knew vaguely what it were about. But it done half start off sinister with this sinister music. Jerry Goldsmith did the music. It just shows how versatile he is, Jerry Goldsmith, doesn't it? Because he can turn his hand to any sort of music. But yeah, this is sinister, foreboding. Sounds like Latin. I don't know what they're saying. But it's just sort of, "Idinu, noddy-doo." It's like that sort of thing. I don't know what it is they're saying. But it's sinister. En road, we're in a car with Gregory Peccary as American diplomat Robert Thorne. And it's 6 a.m. on the 6th day of the 6th month. Sure, there's nothing significant about that date whatsoever. But we're in Rome, so presumably Robert Thorne is ambassador to Italy or something like that. Anyway, tragically, his wife has just given birth to a boy who's died straight away. But the Catholic priest at the hospital persuades Robert to secretly adopt another baby whose mum had died in childbirth. He says, your wife will never know, she'll never know, don't tell her. It'll be too traumatic for her. And after Thorne is reassured that this baby has no surviving relatives at all, he presents it to his wife as if it's their own. Yeah, can't see anything bad happening from this scenario whatsoever. Anyway, we skip forward a few years and Thorne has been made ambassador to the UK. And everything's going swimmingly. They've got a lovely new house. Just seem like a proper happy family. Yeah. That dog doesn't look very realistic though, does it? No. And the passage of time is illustrated courtesy of a few still photographs showing the family unit having lots of fun. And suddenly we're at Damian's birthday party. He's a bit older. I reckon he's probably a spoilt brat, Damian. His parents are wealthy. Dad's got a very high profile job. I don't know how many of them kids are his mates. Just kids of work colleagues, things like that. They don't like him. There's no expense spared at this party. We've got a nickel slide. They've got a carousel, bouncy castle. Although, to be fair, we've done a bouncy castle before. Good value. Keeps the kids happy for hours. Anyway, this is the first inkling that things start to get a bit weird because Damian's nanny spots a suspicious looking dog. There's some sinister music there, so it's obviously a devil dog. It's obviously awful. And if something's guaranteed to put a downer on a kid's birthday party, it's the nanny committing suicide. It's even stopped the kids jumping about on the bouncy castle. That's how much of a downer it is. But Damian, he don't seem traumatised by it at all. In fact, he seems very happy to see the devil dog. Oh, that music's giving me the willies already. This is early in the film and it's giving me the willies. And photographer David Warner is there looking very dapper. Very young, dapper David Warner. And when the press are haranguing Thorne about the nanny and why she might have done a sent in, we get a very brief moment where Thorne shows himself to be a decent bloke. And David Warner's Keith Jennings simultaneously shows himself to be a slightly slimy member of the paparazzi.
Sorry. I am sorry. Will you send me a bill for the damage?
Well, that's all right, Mr. Ambassador. Let's just say you owe me.
That's the genius of David Warner, isn't it? Brilliant actor. Just that line delivery there, the way he says it, it makes him come across very seedy. Then we get another great actor pops up. Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton, as Father Brennan. I think one of the priests from Father Ted. And he obviously knows something sinister about the son, Damian. But he doesn't do a very good job of explaining it without sounding like a total nutcase.
His mother was a...
Oh, interrupted at the crucial time, yeah. His mother was a a Jawa? No. Jaffa cake? No, don't know. I'll have to wait and find that out. And wrote, after the mad Father Brennan is escorted from the premises, David Warner gets a couple of snaps of him. But when he goes to develop him in his dark room, he notices this weird line pointing towards the priest. Presumably a bit of dodgy film or something like that. And wrote, Billy Whitelaw turns up as the new nanny to look after Damian. Mrs. Bowlock. Very familiar face, Billy Whitelaw. Been in loads of stuff over the years.
I like her.
She seems all right.
Yeah, she seems nice, doesn't she? She does seem nice. But there seems to be a little bit of confusion, because neither Thorne nor his wife are sent for this new nanny. So, where's she come from?
Well, we don't know how you got here.
The agency.
Oh, the agency. There you go. You see, that explains it, doesn't it? Perfectly innocent explanation. Nothing sinister going on at all.
Have no fear, little one. I am here to protect thee.
Oh my God. Oh, good God. Billy Whitelaw is terrifying. Blood curdling. My blood has been curdled. And basically, Father Brennan has been trying to tell Thorne that his son is actually the Antichrist.
Your son, Mr. Thorne. The son of the devil.
Oh, good grief. And after he's imparted the news, he tries to escape these awful high winds by taking sanctuary in the church. But he can't get in. And this flagpole or weather vane or whatever it is falls off the top and kills him. Now, I'll be honest with you. I laughed out loud when that happened. I don't think I was supposed to, but it did make me chuckle. It reminded me of Hot Fuzz, where the church turret falls on that reporter. Yeah, it's so daft, it's funny, isn't it? And Father Brennan's got ages to get away from that thing. He spotted it, and then he spends what feels like an age just watching it come towards him. Yeah, it's 5.21 seconds before it hits him. That's a long time. All he had to do was move a bit to the left. It'd have been fine. And wrote, David Warner shows his photographs to Thorne, and he's realised that these weird marks foreshadow the way the subject of the photo is going to get bumped off.
The rest, of course, history.
And he also explains about all the research that Father Brennan had been doing.
My son is dead. I don't know whose son I'm raising.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Thorne, I'd like to help you try and find out.
So the two of them head off on a road trip to Rome, where they end up in a cemetery to try and dig up the bodies of Damian's biological mother and Thorne's deceased son, only to find that in the grave of the mother, it ain't a human skeleton, it's a jackal. Oh, that was what Patrick Troughton were trying to say. Not a Jawa, not a Jaffa cake, it were a jackal. A jackal? Bloody hell! You know what that means? Some human fellas had it off with a jackal. That's depraved. Where's the Lou Themes warning? We need it. Now, as I say, I ain't normally a fan of horror films. They give me the willies. I don't normally have the right constitution for them. But I thought this was very well done. It did give me the willies in places. Not so unbearable that I can watch it. But yeah, Billy Whitelaw particularly. She was terrifying. She was the most frightening thing in it, I thought. She were horrible. Helped in no small part by Jerry Goldsmith's spine-chilling soundtrack. Yeah, the dee-doo, no dee-doo, that music again. It gives me goosebumps, bumps of the old goose. No, there goes another one. Yeah, some of the deaths are horrifying. Others, they didn't make me laugh out loud. I don't know if that was the aim of the director. I doubt it, to be honest with you. I mean, when David Warner cops it... that is great. It really is. Now, I feel the need to talk a little bit about Damian and his son. Because as the film goes on, there's loads of scenes where he's demonstrating various demonic tendencies. But I think he's maybe a bit harshly done to. Maybe a little bit misunderstood. For starters, we see him as a baby, and then there's a gap of about 5 years. Well, anybody who's had their own kids will tell you that at that age, they will frequently act up like a bunch of ickle devils, the bleeders. Now, here he is having a whap because he doesn't want to go to church. And obviously we're led to believe that's because he's the son of the devil. But it could have just been an awkward sod. I mean, when I was his age, I didn't want to go to church. It was bloody boring. I remember Maxine having a massive whap when we had to take her to MFI. But she wanted to stay at home and watch Saturday Superstar. I didn't think she was the daughter of Satan. And to be fair, I couldn't blame her. You know, I think I'd rather stay at home and watch Saturday Superstar. Now that's bloody annoying, but it ain't demonic, is it? You show me a parent who ain't been irritated by their 5-year-old doing something like that and I'll show you a liar. Now here we see him putting the shits up the animals at the safari park, and the giraffes all leg it. They can obviously tell that he's the spawn of Satan. Or can they? You know, animals do weird things. They could have legged it for any one of a number of reasons. You know, he's having an ice cream. Maybe they're lactose intolerant. And he said thank you for the ice cream.
Thank you.
How many 5-year-olds do that unprompted? Yes, the baboons get very tetchy. But that's just normal for a safari park, isn't it? Monkeys in general and baboons in particular are renowned for wrecking your car. I remember going to Longleat Safari Park in the 80s with the kids, and the monkey took a shit on the bonnet. But I'll be honest, I was pleased just to get out of there with my wing mirrors still on. Now yes, admittedly it does cause this accident where his mum falls off the balcony. But is that his fault? Or is that Billy Whitelaw's Mrs. Bollock for opening the door and letting him ride his trike onto the landing? I remember when Dino was that age, he left his lorry full of bricks kicking about. Denise slipped up on it, nearly broke her neck. I've never seen her so livid. All the air were blue it were. She were effing and jeffing like a bricky. Incidentally, that's got to be the most gentle fall in cinema history. But yeah, I think he's a bit harshly done to, Damian. He's no worse than any other 5-year-old, I'm telling you. Just seems worse because he's got Jerry Goldsmith's no-de-doo, de-doo music accompanying everything he does, so it sounds a lot worse. If you've got a 5-year-old and they're acting up, play the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack and you will be convinced they're the spawn of Satan. Ew. Oh. What bloody hell's that? What bloody hell's that squiggly line? Oh. There's another one on that one. What's going on? Okeydoo, on to Ray's ratings. Well, yeah, I'd heard lots of good things about The Omen. Lots of folk saying it was good. But horror films, yeah, they're not really my thing. They tend to give me the willies. But, yeah, we're expecting it to be decent. So, I were expecting at least a 3-star film. Yeah, if I liked horror films, I might have been expecting it to be higher. But I knew they're not really my thing. Now, what did I get? Well, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did. It did give me the willies. It did give me the willies, but not so much that I couldn't watch it. You know, not so much that we're constantly running for a wee. Perhaps the most scary thing in it, I think, were Billy Whitelaw. Crikey, she were spine-chilling. Brilliant performance for her. She were horrible. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. I'm rating The Omen a 4-star, 3-star film. Now, I know the question you're all asking. Where does Damian sit on my annoying kidometer? Well, let's remind ourselves of the kidometer scale, right? So at the bottom we'd got tolerable. Kevin from Time Bandits, he was tolerable. Above that we got smart ass, bloody irritating. I thought the kids from Santa Claus the movie were sort of in that bracket. Precocious turd, of course Emil from the Wild Geese, and vomit-inducing at the top. None other than Paul from Outland. Oh, daddy. Oh, bloody awful. So where does Damian sit? If you remember, we got the other half of the scale, where we've got Samuel from Witness, haven't we? He was superb, Samuel from Witness. And Damian, he were a nickel devil, weren't he? He were a nickel devil, but he were very good at it. And he were no worse than any other toddler, I'm telling you. You stick your head into any infant school class, and you'll see any number of them acting up like ickle bleeders. Anyway, I need to get all this tidied up. Can't see a bloody thing in here. If I ain't careful, I'm going to break my bleeding neck. Right, where are we? Well, Rayvers, I am pleased to report that the Henry Hoover has been safely removed from my anus. And hopefully you enjoyed my review of the Omen. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. Give it a good old poke. Don't get carried away, don't smash it with a weather vane or out like that. Just give it a nice little prod. And remember to share our reviews with your mates, share the love, and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already a subscriber. Very much appreciated. And thank you as always for them lovely comments you pop on. Love reading them. And if you want a little bit more Raymond in your life, why not come and join us over on Patreon? Become a Ratron or a nickel Ratron. As well as getting early access to the reviews, there's an exclusive monthly podcast, regular brain teaser challenges, and you'll get to put forward your suggestions for future reviews. So yeah, come and join us over there. There'll be a link in the description below. Have a great Halloween, and copyright box permitting, I'll be back with another review for you very soon. So I will see you next time. Okeydoo!